Hi, comic book readers, and welcome to a new episode of Off the Rack. I am Sal.
And I am Tiffany.
This is a comic book review show that happens live every Monday night at around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about comic books that came out, and then we recap them, review them, and then recommend comics coming out this week that we think you should check out. We also talk about the news, and we pick a book of the week. I'm saying it at the top of the hour in case I forget.
Yeah.
But we pick a book from the past week that was exceptional in some way that we like, because a lot of people complain about any negativity that might be expressed through any kind of actual legitimate criticism. So
This is your name.
we got a lot of stuff to talk about. In particular, a big trailer dropped for Deadpool 3 now called Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Dropped from the big game. We also have a big Marvel and DC announcement.
What?
That I have behind the scenes exclusive information about that I need to say, just legally speaking, does not come from any member of this team that may be remote communicating on the show. That is to say, none of this information comes from Joshua Williamson. I just want to officially say,
right.
Any inside information I have regarding any DC Marvel announcements has nothing to do with Josh.
Okay.
Honest engine.
I don't think you can say that.
I guess not, right?
No.
It's an old expression.
It's
The Venture Brothers. I was quoting Venture Brothers.
Oh, okay.
See, it was accurate.
No.
Wasn't.
No,
yeah.
It's still.
We also wanted to talk about because this is a big geek show. The fact that we got a big comic book haul this past weekend. And so I wanted to show off that. But before we do, I want to say this show is sponsored by viewers like you. If you're watching the show live, you can sponsor today's show by using Super Chats. Ask a question or comment. We'll read it here on the show. Like
Why
Hulkzilla,
not?
who says, Happy Monday to the ComicPop crew. Well, happy Monday to you,
Thank
Hulkzilla.
you so much.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Here,
do I have to actually haul this up here?
you don't have to go through every single book, because I don't think anyone has any patience for that. But I think I got the Tiffany bag.
Yeah, you definitely have to.
We got this book that it got a little bent.
Oh, you bent my book.
From Simon Spurrier. The Rush is a book you're like, oh, it says Spurrier's name on it. Well, that's a purchase. Gotham City Monsters, The Death of Doctor Strange, Just the Companion, all the tie-ins from that. All of those we grabbed. Some of these are yours, some of these are mine. Like the X-Men Gambit Complete Collection, Volume 2. Yeah, that was yours. I got Batman Fortress, Doctor Strange Punisher, Magic Bullets, Marvel Knights, the Donny Cates one, bunch of random JLA Elseworld stories, Damnation from from Nick Spencer, Man Bat. Remember that book that came out? The X-Men Cyclops and Phoenix Past and Future collection was a recent reprinting of all those Cyclops and Phoenix books that were really well received.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, there's more. There's another entire bag of books. Okay, so Dewey's Comic City in Madison, New Jersey, was having a big grand $5 trade sale, and so we got a bunch of random trades to supplement the what's it called? The library. Yeah, that. Hey, Joshua Williamson's Predator. Dude has experience with that property. Finally got the first volume of Dark Knights of Steel. I would be damned if I picked up that book for the original price. So I was like, no, I will find it somewhere else. There it is, DC Mech. And more. I grabbed a couple of Ghostbusters trades. None of them were mass hysteria, but still. A little bit more of Heroes Reborn. I have Heroes Reborn, the main book. That is to say, the Jason Aaron book. But I got the extras, so now we're really covered. I have Volume 1 of that Dr. Doom. This is a Justice League Infinity book. DeMatteis, continuing the Justice League Unlimited animated series. I have the first volume of this, and now I have the second volume. We're good. We are covered. Oh, look, King Thor and more. They also gave us
here. I can't.
No, don't even worry about it. Don't even
There's only
worry.
one more in here.
Okay, good.
It's only one more.
Yay. Look at that. $5 for the Elseworlds Justice League volume. There's actually another one in there. So I got 2 Justice League Elseworlds volumes.
Bye.
You also got books that you wanted to try out.
Yeah.
Like this cool book, The Dark Room. And a bunch of other stuff like Hex Wives.
Yeah. Is my Atlas in there?
Oh, that's a great question. And it isn't.
Oh.
So it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, let's have
this great looking Department H collection, and more. And more. So, yeah, folks, the best way to make sure you don't miss out on these kinds of things, follow your local comic book store on social media. If you have an Instagram account, follow them. That way you will know when there's something big happening. There it is. Yay.
I couldn't help myself. This is so silly.
The Atlas of the
This
DC
is
universe.
so silly. It's so old.
It's so old.
Look at this. This little map. There's a big map in here.
Yeah.
There's a map.
Now, if we ever say like where any region of the DC universe is in America or in the world or in the galaxy for that matter, you know we're telling the truth because we have definitive proof of that in this outdated
I'm in.
book.
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous.
I love it. I'm so glad that they did this. I wish they do more of them.
Yeah. Additionally, like the shape of New Jersey is hilarious.
Is it? Does it have to be bigger?
No.
Oh, look at that. There's like a weird thing over
Oh,
there.
look at that. Look at
Oh,
this
yeah,
little-
that's not even close.
That's like, I don't know what that is.
That's like draw New Jersey if you have your eyes closed and from memory.
Like adorable.
Yeah.
Adorable.
All right.
I mean, you know, there's also like stats and stuff in here, but I wanted it for this stuff. It's for gaming stuff. But I think this is so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. I also got a freaking Hyrule County omnibus.
Nice.
I got the second volume.
I think you have the first volume, so I think
know.
we're good.
That's why I got the first. I also have like the big oversized one, which I love. But like, this was also $5. Oh,
Right.
I'm to take this.
Well, yeah.
This is also an omnibus.
Right. Anyway, that's it.
It's incredible.
Just a opportunity to geek out and talk about how we bought a bunch of books, and they were all $5. Now there were a lot of them, so it's not like I spent only $5. I actually spent
no.
quite a few $5, but it was worth it because now we have it. Would you walk through a spider web?
My hair's stuck in my lip gloss.
Oh no!
It's oh my gosh. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
So anyway,
Bruh.
don't bruh me.
Bruh.
Bruh. What are you, a middle school boy?
Bruh.
Bruh. Talking to your parent.
I'm talking to you.
But so here's some info. So according to Bleeding Cool, which is always a great source for information, but it is a good aggregator that pulls information from other sources. This one in particular is an unfortunately candid post from one artist, Barry Kitson. And I should say that it was not, I mean, it was his fault because he thought it was privileged. He thought it wasn't privileged information, and it was. It absolutely was. But Barry Kitson posted on social, it has been deleted since then. But the internet is forever, so of course it wasn't really deleted. It was saved by intrepid
How come,
eagle-eyed people.
like stuff like this is saved forever, and then something you desperately want to find again
Yeah.
is just gone?
It's just because people don't care enough to like preserve it in any kind of like
Just bothers
way.
me.
But
Anyway.
yeah, so Barry Kitson was asked by the good people at Marvel and DC, or rather DC, if he had any like extra stuff, any original art or any meta text that he could provide them for a reprint of his Batman Punisher crossover, because Marvel and DC are indeed back in bed together to reprint all the crossovers and the amalgams. So before we get into like the specific details, I just wanted to say something. I think it's rare to say that I toot my own horn.
I mean, how about this? Maybe not on this show,
Right.
but like in life.
Yeah, but we're on the show now.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say that, I've been talking about this for years. I've been talking about how Marvel and DC could easily get together and just reprint the originals, right?
Mhm.
All it takes is just coming together, working out a deal. And in fact, didn't Marvel and DC have a deal as early as the publishing of the original JLA Avengers, which I believe is 2007? So isn't there something on the books during the greediest period of their lives where there'd be some kind of like legalese that would explain how to divvy up the money? Like, couldn't they do it? And I was met with the most like ferocious no's you could imagine. People who want it, people who have always had a desire to read it but haven't had it in their grasp, have told me no. People who, for whatever reason, hate fun and didn't want it were saying, no, never. It couldn't possibly happen. It's just not impossible. It's impossible. Ooh, with the era of today of Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Disney, it'll never happen. Well, it is. It is happening. And you know what else? It was all the reason why it wasn't happening? Because I have some privileged information about why it wasn't happening, and I'm free to share it. The only thing I'm not free is to share the name of the person who shared this with me, but I can rest assured that person used to be employed by DC Comics during a very during this relevant period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It was all ego. It had nothing to do with corporate. It had nothing to do with Disney or Warner Brothers or whatever company owns Warner Brothers this week. It had to do with one ego. One person stood in the way of making this happen, because it had to be that, like a submarine, you got to turn both your keys in order to make it happen. You know, DC could have defiantly, because DC had the publication rights to publish JLA Avengers, they could have just published it themselves. But they needed the permission of someone over at Marvel Comics. And I'm sure there's one name on your lips that you could possibly imagine. It was Ike Perlmutter. Ike Perlmutter was the stumbling block. In fact, here's a little bit of the inside juicy info. Ike Perlmutter was the reason why JLA Avengers reprint from George Perez was so limited in quantity. DC wanted to make it published without any restrictions, to have it just in the rotation. As long as it sells, we'll publish it.
Right.
One name said no and limited it to an impossible quantity that made it an eBay darling. So that a book that made George Perez proud in the twilight years of his life couldn't just get into the hands of people who missed out. It was like Perlmutter. He just said no. So just interesting that now that Ike Perlmutter has gone, suddenly,
oh yeah,
this is in the works. And I should say this has been in the works for over a year. That up until about last year, Marvel and DC were talking to each other about doing this.
Well, I mean, everybody loves money.
You know, you think that. I do. I love giving them my money for some reason.
You do.
And all they have to do is give me what I want. So that's all to say, Marvel and DC are apparently, thanks to the incidental or accidental leak of Barry Kitson, republishing the Amalgam series and their crossovers. I love that they were reaching out to the artists from these series, because it means we're going to get extra material.
That means they're probably doing a special edition.
I mean, I would not be surprised if I saw an Amalgam omnibus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a crossover classics omnibus or 3, because of how many crossovers there have been.
So what are the odds if this does well that they consider doing it again?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because while I can say that
hang on, I just want everybody to know, we do not practice. I don't know what Sal's coming out with when we start these conversations. I'm just walking into these.
I like to get your genuine reactions to these kinds of things.
Ahead.
But remarkably, according to my source, there have been no discussions about a new crossover.
Dang.
There have been no dialogues about making a new crossover on the official level. No one at editorial, Marie Javins, etc., Steve Sapolsky, no one is talking about a crossover. Nobody's talking about having a fire sale.
Unless you're telling me you planned one.
What movie are we quoting? But nobody's talking about a new crossover. But this is point 2 of my 3-point plan that I've outlined for years to get us new crossovers. Because this is the proof, right? The proof is in the pudding. You look at the sales of these books from back in the day. Obviously, we're not in that era anymore. You can't hold them to those standards. But we can hold them to new standards. And if these books sell, if they make money, I mean, Lord knows, especially if they've worked out a deal where they can actually publish these with regularity.
Yeah.
If they can work out a deal where they can publish these on the regular, I mean, after they print the stock, they're gonna need more, to fill them omnibuses, and then come out with a super special edition. And I know personally, because you've seen this channel and associated channels as well, because we used to be one channel, but that the creators of today have been champing at the bit.
Oh yeah, they want their shot.
They want to do this.
Because a lot of them grew up with this.
Exactly. Most of the crop of new creators today, they were the perfect age for these kinds of things.
Yeah, they want their shot.
They want to have their shot. Who doesn't want to see Scott Snyder's Batman Daredevil, or Chip Zdarsky's Batman Daredevil, or Scott Snyder's Batman Daredevil, or any other combination of characters that aren't Batman and Daredevil. Lord knows. I think.
Did you say Scott Snyder's Batman Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky's Batman Daredevil, and then Scott Snyder's Batman
No,
Daredevil?
Scott Snyder, Chip Zdarsky. Oh, I'm sorry, and Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, okay. No, because you definitely said Scott Snyder's
I did.
Batman.
I'm sorry. And Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Batman Daredevil. Who wouldn't want to see that? No, but I would like to see Bendis's Batman Daredevil.
Okay.
That explains why he didn't get back to me. A long time ago, I reached out to Bendis, and he was kind enough to come on the show. It was during the pandemic. And I thought, wouldn't it be a cool episode of our sister show Back Issues, where we went into another reality? It's the premise of that episode. The conceit of that episode would be going into another reality where the Batman Daredevil crossover that Bendis wrote, because he definitely wrote it years ago, came out. And then we'd cover the book as though it came out.
Right.
And he would just send me the script and I would read it, and we'd like kind of distribute it because he can't publish it. He can't do anything with it. It's, it's not his IP. But because I'm a third party, maybe I could do it. Not even a whisper. But I mean, if you follow like the Jim Zub rule of don't give away your ideas,
Yeah.
Smart man.
No, for
I can imagine what a jackass he'd feel like if he did give me the permission to do that and sent me the script and then be like, well, I can't publish that. Some chump on some couch just did a whole episode about it. But anyway.
So essentially it's like we're at step one.
We're
Step one, reprint.
Step one, reprint the things you have. The stuff that came out.
Step two, do a new crossover. Step three,
profit. We have the steps. No question marks. That's right. I mean, honestly, there's profit at every level. Step one, reprint this stuff. Step two, profit. Step three, make new ones. Step four, more profit.
Maybe what it is they're like, we know that the reprints will sell. We don't know.
Right.
What will come from new things.
But we do.
That's why Hollywood does franchises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like we're afraid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but these are franchises.
I fear new things.
That's right. But this is just doing the same thing as before. I mean, if you wanted to follow the formula, what they should do is they should reprint these and then do another DC Marvel crossover, like an event called Secret Crisis. They already telegraphed it in Doomsday Clock, but they do the DC Marvel crossover, and within that subheading, they do the crossovers, like they did with DC versus Marvel. DC versus Marvel broke open the floodgates, and we got Silver Surfer, Superman. We got Superman Fantastic Four. I don't know whose boat was being lifted with that one, because Chip Zdarsky has said on the record that the way it would work is you need to have like one anchor character with one character that could use the help.
Right.
Batman, if it was a Spider-Man Batman crossover, even though arguably those two are some of the best, the top, it's like X-Men Teen Titans and Batman Spider-Mans, both of them. But who's helping who in that one? You know what I mean? They're both their franchise's flagship book.
Right.
But I think that one's the one that helps everybody else. But with Batman Daredevil, obviously Daredevil's being lifted up by Batman, not character-wise, not creatively wise, just simply by sales.
The only way Batman Daredevil is going to help everybody else is if their story is spread out amongst the other issues.
Oh God, I do not want that. I mean, honestly, I think the only way
you want to read all of Batman and Spider-Man's adventures, go and pick up Lobo and
Howard the Duck.
Sure.
Because they had Lobo the Duck from the Amalgam books.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, I would like to see some rematches. I'd like to see
and Dupe.
Yeah, all right.
I was grasping at
who's a silly fun character from Marvel?
Not that.
I mean, Deadpool and Lobo would be one that I'd watch.
Well, yeah, that actually, yes.
But anyway, this is the information that we have.
Yeah.
So in addition to that,
yes,
we have some thumbnails for some Batman Punisher covers.
That's what I'm looking
that
at.
Barry Kitson made, and god damn, are they better?
I don't know what the actual one is, but I really like.
I will show you.
I like the top one.
I love the top one.
I think the top one is
no, top one is the best. It's so strong. It's so cool. I love how it just it uses the. Okay, so here you go, folks. This is what it looked like. Look at what we could have had 25 years ago. Now, that being said, obviously, as you can see from the hands and everything, this was the DC equivalent, which had Jean-Paul Valley teaming up with Punisher, because Barry Kitson drew that one.
Right.
These were the two thumbnail covers, which you'll see in the collection of Marvel DC crossovers coming out from Marvel and DC in the coming year or two. But yeah, the original cover, I understand it. The original cover was something essentially, it was like the Spider-Man Superman crossover cover, where it was like the crossover needed to satisfy both companies,
Yeah.
and so neither one could be smaller or bigger than the other. Not
I
unlike
could see them arguing that, like, Batman's bigger, and it's like, but
yeah, but
Punisher's
like
the
who
focus.
cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
All right, don't you want to sell this?
Right, exactly.
Oh.
But yeah, it worked out very similarly. Yeah, this is by the way, not even the this was the cover that did come out, which doesn't really inspire. But it may please you to know that's the third iteration of this cover, because Batman's costume changed so effing fast and frequently that they went through 3 different iterations. There's one where it's real Batman or Jean-Paul in the Batman costume.
Yeah.
And there's the second one with him in his Nightfall costume. And now there's the last one that came out, which was him in his Night Quest or Night's End costume.
Right.
Which arguably is the worst one. He isn't red, though. He does ultimately end up being red. But still ugly
that
and
means
terrible.
He's at the final phase of his boss battle.
Yes. Oh, no. But he's also not flashing, though.
Oh, okay.
But anyway... Okay. That was the crossover. And by the way, if you want to know what happens, you should just check out the episode of Back Issues on Batman Punisher Lake of Fire, which is a really fun episode. And we also did the original one, or rather the one that comes after that, which is the DC or the Marvel one. It's funny. Actually, I don't remember if we talked about this on the episode, but in that Batman Punisher crossover situation, DC, obviously, the way it worked out was like DC gets one and Marvel gets one for the flagship ones. Like Superman Silver Surfer, one. We do one of those.
Right.
Green Lantern, Silver Surfer, anyone with Silver Surfer, we do one of those.
Why are you here, Silver Surfer?
But that being said, that Green Lantern, Silver Surfer one isn't so bad.
Right.
And it's a precursor. It's actually like, it should be in the collection for the DC Marvel crossovers because it harbinges.
Right.
It actually is like the first appearance of the cardboard box. But anyway, DC really, really, really wanted to have it be in continuity and for it to feature Jean-Paul. They thought that having the crossover with Jean-Paul was actually kind of like a dunk. They were like, we really succeeded. Like, oh, you wanted Marvel was like, we want Bruce Wayne. And they were like, knock yourselves out. Oh, you could have dusty, crusty old Bruce Wayne. We got Jean-Paul knife hands Batman. And so, of course, there's one that people really like. And then there's the other one. And that's the one we're talking about. But it could have had a better cover.
Yeah.
John Romita Jr.'s first Batman is in the original Marvel crossover. Joker is Joker versus Punisher.
Yeah,
it's great.
Okay.
But it's also it's like peak John Romita Jr. on Punisher doing Batman.
Right.
It was cool. It's not great, but it's cool, and not as cool as these effing covers or these thumbnails. Like that top one.
Yeah,
I love it. The neutral space or the negative space, just like the blackness, and then he melts into it. Oh, yeah, so great. And then there's the other one, which is like, it's a little complicated. It's like, look, we're trying out ideas. That's why we thumbnail. I get where
they're going with it.
Yeah, I can see where they're going with it, but
no, that is why we thumbnail.
That's why we thumbnail.
So you iterate.
But you can imagine they were like, we love this. Now throw it away because we need to make sure that
really
each one.
We can't do that.
Well, but we can't do that because we can't just. Batman can't be like this looming presence that is like actually kind of threatening and interesting that actually thematically fits with the story because you can't tell it's Batman.
Right.
Punisher is front and center. We know that's Frank Castle, but what's up with that shadow? Well, I'd have to use my brain. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
No,
we really are. Yeah, that's why we talked about for half an hour. But like, I'm so hyped. The possibilities are endless, and it means I can hope again. It means I can be optimistic again. I've been beaten down, not by the publishers, but by the audience itself, who told me every single day, stop wasting your time. Stop asking for it. It's never going to happen. They'll never do it. Why don't you just give up now? Well, no. And that's a lesson to you creators out there who all want to do this, but thought it could be impossible. Well, it's not. They're reprinting all the books, and it's going to look great because they have, hopefully it'll look great.
Right.
With the crossover classics omnibus that they could do, just use the George Perez cover from the original crossover classics.
For sure.
Use some of that newfangled coloring. Have some of that high gloss paper. I mean,
as long as they do a nice job on it, they will be rewarded.
Yes. money was spent back then.
Yeah.
All those books had like glossy
No, they
paper.
really should. And if they've been taking this long,
right?
hopefully they're like handling it
with care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that whoever is in charge, like, of this project has been like painstakingly piecing it together.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Let me see if there's anything else from my my esteemed deep throat, as it were, who essentially said, "Yeah, no, apparently, actually, it's they. I don't know if it was a he. Shouldn't say one way or the other.
Fair.
But yeah, apparently, Perlmutter was 100% the reason that the JLA Avengers reprint only had 7,500 copies. He wanted to be able to sell it at a higher price point. And DC was on board with printing an unlimited amount of copies. Yeah. Everyone at DC knew it was Ike that limited the amount of prints that could be done.
Well, I mean, that makes like unfortunate sense.
Yeah.
Just
but
very damaging.
You know who deserves a lot of credit for it?
Who?
Marie Javins.
Yay.
It means a lot. It actually it
well,
answers
yeah, she didn't, like, she's the one that really spearheaded
the reprint.
Yeah, for Perez.
Yes,
right?
that's right. She had a quote that said something like she had to walk through hell to do it. Now we know that means Ike Perlmutter's office.
Yeah.
He's gone now.
Gross.
Now we can have things we want.
What a gross human being.
I know. We can get.
I mean, I don't know anything about him other than like, you don't make people feel like that.
Yeah.
And
don't when they're like when they have a time time limit.
Like nobody. Well, yeah. First of all, yeah, gross to that level of like, there's like some no. And then second of all, like if someone's coming to you to work with them, like don't make them describe the experience like walking into hell. Like you're doing something wrong.
Yes,
maybe you think you're doing something right because you have like really messed up prerogatives.
Yeah.
But like, ew.
He is a ghoul. Yeah, the Marvel DC crossovers. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to them.
The reprint is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we could get all those access books. I've been trying to get original art from any of those crossovers, and back before this, they were actually like not worth much. Oh well, because I wanted to get that. There's a cover I wanted that I tried to get, and
well, don't say it.
It's
here.
sold. No, it's gone. It's
okay,
gone.
It's gone.
Well, just in case somebody has it and wants to sell it to me, I'll just DM me. But it's from Unlimited. It's from the All Access crossover. We did it. You were on the show.
Yeah, I know.
The image of Batman smashing through the seal of the shanty into the sanctum.
Yes,
that cover is so fire.
It is. That's fair.
But maybe we'll get a high res image so I can at least make it my phone background. So yeah, we're not getting. So there's no official. So to wrap up with that.
Yeah,
topic,
let's
no official announcements on any new books. Right. No new business.
Right.
But the new business we are getting is reprinting all the crossovers and the amalgams. That's enough for me for now.
That's great.
That was the least of what I was asking for.
Yep.
And we're being over delivered.
Yep, that's incredible.
Because just the amalgams alone. We're talking over a dozen titles.
Yeah.
And that will necessitate an omnibus or a multiple trade paperback release or a multiple hardcover and multiple trade paperback release.
Or an absolute edition.
An absolute edition would be friggin' amazing. I would love to see an absolute edition of any one of these things. But most importantly, I want to see, those Walt Simonson big books?
Yeah.
The Teen Titans X-Men Walt Simonson oversized edition. Walt's got that art somewhere. And I want to see a big ass version of the Phoenix and Darkseid by Walt. Come on. Anyway, so that being said, let's talk about some comic books that are coming out this week, or that came out that we're excited about. And then we'll talk about the Deadpool trailer. So I read Birds of Prey number 6. This, of course, from Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero. This is the last issue of this arc, but the series is going to keep going and promises that there's more. We saw the resolution of the story. I don't want to give away too much, but it is the resolution of this arc. The Birds of Prey have come together, done their job, saved the day, and we find out that there's actually like a secret reason for why they all came together and why this particular group had to be together. And it's and why maybe one of your favorite Birds of Prey was excluded from this group. Very good reasons and a deeper meaning that will extend into the next arc.
Okay.
But those of you who loved this team is disbanded at the end.
Oh.
And the only birds that will remain is Black Canary and Cassie,
okay.
Batgirl. But Really fun. And I'm sad because I'm like, oh man, I want to see Zealot and Barda and even Harley again. But I like the idea of them like picking and choosing different female representations in the DC universe for arcs.
Sure.
Good book. Jordi Belair went kind of ham on the colors with this one. And as a result, it kind of had this like blurry effect on all of the pages. And I don't know if that was because of what happened with Belair or if that's what happened with the printing.
But did you read it physical or digital?
I looked at digitally.
So then there's no reason it would look like that unless it was done intentionally.
I know, but I don't know if that is a thematic choice or if it was just a misstep, but it was hard to see.
Okay.
It was a little blurry.
Okay.
Or it gave a blurry effect. So that's my only really negative about it. All right, Captain America number 6. This is probably should be the end of the series, but it isn't. But J.M. Straczynski, creator of Babylon 5, and Medina working on this one. Captain America gets to the bottom of the evil demon Nazi guy. Remember Doctor Strange was in an action figure. He astral projected into an action figure that Steve Rogers had in his pocket.
I do remember you saying that.
Yep. Well, he needs to fight this magical monster, and so Doctor Strange sends the Eye of Agamotto to help him, and it embeds itself into the shield. And then Captain America bashes it to death, and yay, the day is saved, and it's kind of fun.
Supreme.
I mean, he does not become Soldier Supreme. Speaking of Amalgam, no. That also, by the way, really quick aside.
Yeah.
I remember when Infinity Warps happened.
Yeah.
And I was so sure that felt like a Perlmutter move.
Yeah.
People keep asking for these amalgams. Can we do that ourselves? Can we just smash our own characters together? Well, it kind of defeats the purpose of doing it. I mean, like, who gives a crap? And it's like, well, do it anyway, and then shut them up. But anyway,
and do them bad,
and do them really bad too. Yeah,
not great.
Do them really boring, and make it linked with one of the worst things of Jerry Duggan's career. But I like the moment where the Eye of Agamotto gets into the shield. It goes over the star, and Cap goes, I don't like the idea of the eye kind of like covering the American flag. And Steve goes, have you seen the back of a dollar lately? And he's like, touche. That's Straczynski for you.
Steve, have you?
I don't think that's terribly relevant.
Just saying, when do you think the last time Dr. Stephen Strange handled a dollar bill?
He lives in Manhattan. I assume he's got to pay for hot dogs. He probably just creates a teleporter. Like, he probably just makes a portal underneath them and just gets them.
He's like, can I pay you in gold?
May I pay you in magic?
Just have it.
I'll give you a imp. He does your bidding now. Yeah.
I'd get that out of here, man.
He's paid in hot dogs.
That is not helpful.
He loves them. And you.
Oh, great.
He'll die for you.
Oh my God. No. No.
Anyway,
nobody wants the street that Steve's on.
Yeah. Oh God.
Dr.
Some
Strange.
new buck is like, yeah, hey, no one's on Bleecker Street. This is amazing. Yeah, good luck, young buck. Enjoy.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Just really quickly, I want to mention Dark Spaces Dungeon.
Yay!
One of the IDW Dark Spaces book. I believe number 3 came out this past week, written by Scott Snyder with art by Hayden Sherman. This issue just continued not only the storyline for this book, but also my adoration of it.
Yes.
This one was like, we're moving, like we're going, the last issue, another individual was taken by this person. That's kind of, we already had a call to action, but this is like another, like, hey, now it's even more pressing. Yes. Yeah, as we're like learning more and more about, and by more and more, I mean like we're getting little fragments here and there, like little bits and pieces of who is behind all of it. Now, again, I always keep in the back of my head that there is meant to be no supernatural in this. And if Scott hadn't told me that to my face,
definitely expected
I would have completely been like, okay, clearly this is some sort of demon or something.
It's one of those human demons that we have to deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that it isn't that, and I know that there is no supernatural element to it, honestly makes me even more interested in it, because I'm like, how is this all going to come together? Like, this is really upsetting.
Yeah.
How much information this person has and how like twisted that this person is. I like this book. It is very like Dark Spaces is not a it's not a lie. This is a dark space to be in, and I really do love it. Art is so good on this book.
Yep.
It's just everybody's firing on all cylinders. I will say there was one moment in here, and I'm gonna have to go back and reread part of the section again, but I swear there's a detail that is not mentioned, and yet one of the characters says something about it. So I don't know if that was just something that was missed, or by me, or by some, like, I don't
editing.
know. I don't know. Or it could come up later on that they're like, oh, I used this as blah blah blah. I was like,
yeah,
all
it
right.
could be a callback to something.
I'm like so like in a like mindset of like, oh, I gotta unravel the mystery along with these characters, and I'm like, I can't wait for the next issue. Really love this book. Again, if you're looking for something that does have horror elements without it being supernatural, I know it seems like kind of strange because 9 times out of 10, if you're looking for something horror, there is a supernatural element to it, whether it be like a monster or a demon or like you know, like a slasher. Like there is a supernatural component to it typically.
Yeah.
This does fulfill that niche and like scratch that itch. Without that, 100%, go grab it.
Agreed. Yeah, and if you want Scott Snyder's insight into this particular issue and into the series and more, not just IDW, but it's worth paying attention to what IDW is doing in the originals department. I talked to him, Scott Snyder himself, on this channel. So if you want to go back and check it out, we actually had a plethora, an onslaught, lowercase o, of creator interviews over the last week. And you should definitely check them all out.
Leading to a rebirth.
Oh, yeah, it is a little bit of a rebirth for us, but definitely check those out because they're worth watching. Christopher Priest, on the channel for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's
and maybe the last. We'll see.
What?
He seemed to be amenable to the process.
That's dope.
But Scott was on and he talks this book up and really explains the nitty gritty. It's really, and I read it too, and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, no, it's real fun. Doctor Strange came out this week. Doctor Strange number 12, written by Jed McKay with art by Danilo S. Beyruth.
Okay.
I said that correctly. I wasn't prepared. I don't know why. They're the guest artists because this is kind of like an in-betweeny issue.
Oh, they call them filler issues. No, okay.
Yeah, no.
It's a done in one.
No, it isn't. It isn't because it's like, hi, plot thread. We're not going to deal with this right now necessarily.
Fair enough.
Like,
yeah.
Plot thread that leads back to something I had completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
Until it came back around again, and I was like, oh yeah. Does anybody remember back in 2023? You know, so long ago. But Al Ewing and a bunch of other creators did a book called Crypt of Shadows, and literally it was a bunch of little like vignettes. It was like a Deadpool vignette. I think there was a Hulk one, there was a Scarlet Witch one, and a Daredevil one, I think. And they were all interspliced with this like Doctor Strange story that wasn't about Doctor Strange.
Oh,
yeah. Victor Strange, his brother, right?
Yes, I remember the cover.
Yeah, like a former Baron Blood, one of the many Baron Bloods. But it was in between, like he came in and he told like, he's like all about stories and all that stuff, right? And at the end, he frees himself from being held within a mirror within the sanctum, right? That's what this story is about.
Okay, all right.
So if you're wondering where this came from, it came from an Al Ewing story, which I'm guessing McKay was like, yeah, sure. No, it's coming out at the same time that his stuff was coming out. I have a feeling they probably talked with each other. I like to think that.
Or Jed McKay remembered that it happened.
But it just happened in 2023.
I'm just saying,
He's just aware of it. It does put dear friend Bats in peril in this one.
Oh no.
Additionally, this was weird because it was leading me one way, again, having completely forgotten about his brother in that book. I completely forgot that
you were like, who?
No, I meant like, so I wasn't thinking that as they're like, what's going on? Like Bats like feels like there's something wrong in the sanctum. You can sense something.
Do they cite that book?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
You know, they specifically
tell you where to get
it. I know that. And I went back and I literally had it in my my Amazon Kindle library. So I was able to go back and refresh my memory. And I was like, oh my gosh,
naturally
forgot about this book. Yeah, Bats is like, something's going on. I think there's some presence in the sanctum, and Strange is like, I would know. If anyone here, I would know.
Yeah,
relax,
you're not
Bats.
Ghost Dog Supreme. I'm Sorcerer Supreme. But I'm just saying there's something strange in the neighborhood.
Who are you gonna call? And Clea is strangely written in this, and so initially I thought it was something up with Clea, and I was like, oh, and before we were tying it into this other issue, I still think she was slightly strangely written, where it's like feels a little bit more like how she used to be,
okay,
like back in the day.
That's cool.
Yes and no. I mean, he's just kind of, changed her, modernized her a bit. It just felt like we went back a few steps, but the point of this book is not them. The point of this book is the adventure Bats goes on, and in discovering who's behind it all. And it is Victor. It is not wrapped up in this issue, and it won't be in the next issue. We're going to start the next arc, and I'm going to guess will come back. And
right. This will be like an
absolutely
undercurrent.
fine with that. Right. But it actually takes Bats off the table.
Oh no.
So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, because like in the next one we're doing like a Defenders kind of thing.
All right, well,
a Secret Defenders.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Where it appears to be a Taskmaster, Hunter's Moon, and Black Cat.
Okay.
Along with Steve.
Well, Steve and Felicia have a history.
They're meant to. Apparently, they're teasing it that a sentient, sentient, that's the word. Sentient role-playing game has transformed New York City. And I was like, okay, I read Die too. But I don't care. I'm here to see this. Yeah. I don't care. I don't, you know what?
That sounds like a fun premise, though, for a Doctor Strange story.
Right? And I was like, oh my gosh, that works. Okay, so Steve's the wizard. Black Cat is the rogue. Taskmaster is the warrior.
Right.
And Hunter's Moon's the paladin.
Yeah.
I am here for this group. We have no healer, though. We have no healer.
Well, maybe they'll have to add them to the party.
I guess Hunter's Moon will have to sub in for the healer. You gotta have a healer, folks.
It's true. Never discount the healer.
They have an important role. All right. It's not like I've played a whole lot.
It's not glamorous, but it's a job.
It's not, and it's my job, and I do it well. I like this issue. I thought the artist did a great job too. I really enjoyed it. There was one particular panel I really was like brought back to like an older era of Doctor Strange, and like the art from it just heavily shadowed, a lot of implication in what you're seeing, and it just vibed.
Right.
It just yeah. So good issue, good times. Looking forward to more.
Please make more.
Please make more. That's my note.
Jamie Wild says, hey guys, it's been a long time since I caught one of these streams, and I just want to say I love the show and appreciate you and Sal Tiffany. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you being here anytime you can make it. Ray Farr, ComicPop Woo. I loved last week's back issues. Roger Stern era Spider-Man is among my favorites. How about Pyro and Patch costume? Jackman, hope DP3 has heart. That ain't Jackman. Oh, yes. No, it's Pyro, right?
Yeah,
we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Glassman, so excited to pick up the Knight's Terrors collection tomorrow. My love for Williamson, among others, work continues.
Very nice.
Yeah, hey, they're putting out the collection for Night Terrors. Josh, you gotta freaking send a text, man. Tell me when the book comes out so I can hype it up. I mean, come on.
We're hyping it right now.
We're hyping it right now, yeah, but I didn't know about that ahead of time. Josh Rowland, Excelsior Comic Pop. Is Thomas Wayne the son of Sam Bradley in Gotham City Year One? Oh, that's a great question. And I think you should read Gotham City Year One, ladies and gentlemen, to find out. If you were like, what? Read that. It's complicated. Girk Pectus, the Hugo Awards guy that insulted Near Game and just for asking simple questions about China got fired, yet Neil is still disqualified. Can you say Fall Guy? I guess. Yeah, that's a shame. Neil has a lot of awards. Bryce Harriet, thank you for your generosity. Hi. Into Wade's books. If folks aren't digging Size Flash, there are two more classic Flash books. Jay Garrick is written by Jeremy Adams, and Speed Force makes greatest use of DC's teen heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jeremy Adams is doing a great job with Green Lantern with the other books.
It's it's smart though. If you're gonna do something that's so tonally different,
give them some alternative.
Yeah. It's just you may have to go and seek them out, you know, and you may not be reading the title maybe you're used to reading, but if it's not satisfying you, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do love that book, and I'm gonna keep saying it, but I get it.
Totally.
I totally do get it, but I do love that book, and I think it's really great.
But if you are a hardcore dyed-in-the-wool Wally West Flash fan, maybe you take that reprieve, take a break, try something different. The Derpiest of Derps. Hey guys, catching my first off the rack in a bit.
Welcome back.
Did you guys consider covering Superman Space Age? It's a recent book that didn't get enough love. I remember it not getting enough love, including from me. So we'll have to check it out at some point down the line. Ray Farr, I've been on an art kick lately and have been appreciating a lot of work by Jim Stranko. And thanks to you guys, Barry Windsor Smith.
Nice.
Thanks for all you do. Yeah, man, enjoy. Check out Barry Windsor Smith's Conan and, of course, his later The Monster book. That's worth checking out.
Nice stuff.
John George Peppers, I Spy with My Little Eye, Josh and Sal Darklaw Mini. Oh, man. I do a book. I don't care what book it is. Josh wants to collaborate with me on anything. I'm always available. But in particular, it'd have to be Predator. But no,
or anything.
And honestly, I would take any of those Amalgam crossovers. I don't even like some of them, most of them.
Like,
but I would
do any of
like
them.
I'd do Magneto and the Metal Men. I don't even like that idea. I mean, I love the idea because it's they have the same name. But anyway, Rayfar, P.S. Tiffany, you got to watch Doctor Strange from 2007. Is that the animated movie? I'm not sure. I assume it is. I think we might have seen that. I don't remember.
We might have.
I don't remember. I feel like we might have, but I don't remember. The one that you need to watch is the made-for-TV 1970s Doctor Strange movie with I think it's Peter Hooton.
I'm not gonna do that.
We gotta watch it. Come on. I had to watch Generation X.
So did I.
No, but I watched it because I elected to watch it because I had nothing else.
Yeah, and then you elected me to watch it.
Yeah.
That doesn't no.
Welcome to the jungle.
Stop.
Joshua Link, I was so excited by this news that I dug out my Amalgam collection. I forgot they did an amalgamation of Scarecrow and Scarecrow named Scarecrow.
Nice.
Inspired. Listen, if it ain't broke, Revolutionary Dragon. Speaking of crossovers with the TMNT being inspired by Daredevil, how come we never got a TMNT Daredevil crossover? Mainly because Marvel is the most reticent to doing crossovers. Marvel, it's funny, they weren't for the okay, here really quick. Here's why.
Let's do
it.
Here we go.
Because by the time Marvel was doing all the crossovers, there is a like there was like the Darkness event with Marvel characters. You know what I mean? Like Marvel and the Darkness have a massive Mephisto event that no one read, except for the two smart Alex in the comments right now.
Oh, I see you.
But like they did them all. They did that awful crossover with the Malibu universe before they bought them. There's a ton of them. But the TMNT license or ownership, it was such a like mess. Like, you know, Laird and Eastman were doing Ninja Turtles for a while, but it only like, you know, the two of them only did like 10 issues together. And after that, it was Laird's book. And after that, he like relinquished or like granted rights to Eric Larson and like Image.
Okay.
And it's a horrible book. I think around that time, like it was between like the Image period and when it was reacquired or rescinded from Image. So like it just didn't line up.
Okay.
And by the time that Marvel was doing them around like 96, TMNT wasn't a big deal. Like TMNT Fever was over and Daredevil wasn't big enough to support it. And again, like who's helping who? You know, Marvel would have done it if it made them $1, but I just don't think they were aware that the dollars could have been had.
Right.
Gianni P, give me Deadpool and Ambush Bug or I riot. I'll take Deadpool and Ambush Bug. That's a great idea. Wilbert Robinson, does this mean there will be some Amalgam episodes of back issues? Probably. I mean, the thing is, they're all like single issues.
I would also take a Deadpool and Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Oh yeah, blue, gold, and red. Yeah, I would love that. Genius. Raidu, finally a chance for Tempest Fuganot and Uatu to have an almost got him style meeting. Yes! Are you kidding me? I didn't even think about it because I daren't dream. And now...
Isn't he dead?
No, okay. Josh asked me the same question. Because he works there. He's like...
Nobody tracks the comings and goings of Tempest Fuganot.
No, he was like, he goes, dude, Tempest Fuganot's dead, man. And I'm like, no, there are Fuganauts. He's one of them. And he's like, no, but that was him, though. And I'm like, yeah, but you could always just say it was another Fugonaut. It doesn't have to be Tempest. And he's like, why do you like Tempest Fugonaut?
That's, I think, what everyone wants to know.
Because he sucks. He's so stupid and lame. He's over-designed. He insists upon himself. He is a clear ripoff of Uatu.
Yeah.
You know, but he's also lamer because Uatu at least has like a thing. He has one thing and he sticks to it. But like, why is he running around in the Sideways book? Like, what is he doing? And he only monitors the Dark Universe. Like, why? And now nobody cares about it. So it's stupid.
Because he's an edgelord.
What's up with his stupid big arm? Like his dumb rod. Like, what's that all about? Why? And I can't stress enough how dumb he looks. But the fact that like they were like, oh, I got a great idea, and it's called Rogolzar. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have all these ideas, and they push them, and I'm like, don't forget that you thought this was a really good idea, And like, you deserve to have like a Tempest Huguenot sideshow collectible statue on your desk and go like, we take big swings at DC, and sometimes they're home runs and sometimes they're strikes. What can you do? You know, like Tempest Huguenot here, which you can buy for a song because we made too many of them, and we have a whole broom closet full of them. I like Tempest Huguenot because he's so stupid.
Okay.
Really, I just want to manifest a Tempest Huguenot collectible into the world so that I can have it on the set.
I know
you
you
can be like,
do.
ho ho, and I'll be like, hey, Tempe, you suck. J.R. Gomez, I watched a video about Iceberg on the DCEU.
That's going to be the book you get.
Right, it'll be Tempest Huguenot Uatu.
Yeah.
That'd be easy enough to do. Are you kidding me? The Watchers would hand him his ass. It's frustrating. It's incredible how many projects that were in development, including Tom King's New Gods. Yeah, I can't talk too much about that. All I can say is I haven't checked out the video.
There you go.
Hayden Hamilton, any chance of covering Spider-Man Back in Black? Yeah, big chance at some point. So let's talk about some comic books.
Sure.
Comic books, baby. I read Thundercats #1 from Declan Shalvey and Drew Moss.
Nice.
And hey, if you were wondering what Declan Shalvey thought about this book and more, you should check out my interview with Declan Shalvey on this channel. But yeah, it's back, and it had record sales, by the way. This book was the highest selling book. It was 175,000 copies.
Is there like a huge Thundercats fandom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yes.
That was a legitimate question. I wasn't making fun of.
No.
But
here's the thing about Thundercats, right? Because I always thought it was just me, but Thundercats is a terrible cartoon.
Okay.
It's so boring.
Okay.
And formulaic. Like, it is the lowest common denominator.
Sure.
With the best theme song of the decade.
Okay.
The most iconic design of its ilk. And the best, did I say theme song?
Yes.
It bears repeating.
Scott Snyder
and Scott Snyder. No, but like this legitimately is like Thundercats. Like the premise, the pitch, even the movie. Like when I say that, I mean like the 2-part pilot that I had on VHS from a dying video store about a decade before video stores were dying because of poor management. Eat it, Video Mania. But it's boring and formulaic, but when you look at it, you're like, yes, and the toys ruled, and the concept, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of into this. The Sword of Omens is one of the best pieces of like weaponry in like from that era, like the Master Sword. What is He-Man's sword? Shit, I forgot. Sword of Eternia, doesn't matter. He-Man's sword and the Sword of Omens, best swords, you know. Rivaled, dwarfed only by a lightsaber, and only because the lightsaber was invented in the 70s, so it's okay.
I don't know if I've ever understood why the Thundercat sword is
why it works so well.
Why it's so like why people think it's so iconic.
What? How dare you?
I don't know. Like it's got a big eye on the side of it.
No, but it has
essentially it's
okay,
like
here's why.
It's like me asking about Cap asking about the shield.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if I like the eye on it.
Here's why. Oh well, because he needs it in order to have sight beyond sight. He looks through it and can see into other places.
Okay.
The reason why it rules is because it does other things besides being a sword.
Oh, right.
For example, the sword is a dagger when it's in its resting phase.
Okay.
But when...
So like a sword and like a little sword.
No, it is a little sword, and then it becomes a real sword. Like this sword, it's a dagger. And when Lion-O gets it, and he, becomes the leader of the Thundercats and calls it out, it grows into a full sword.
Right.
And the little the whatever.
The hilt? No, the guard.
The guard, thank you. The guard, it moves. And it looks rad.
So it's a magic sword.
It's a magic sword, but it has a function. It's not like it does whatever you want. It doesn't talk to him. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like Snarf. It is a thing, but it does other things besides being a sword. It becomes a little sword and it looks rad.
Yeah.
Like there's a Dead show called Man at Arms that used to be on the Aw Me network. And when they made that sword, it was amazing. If you haven't already, you should watch the rest of this episode and then go check out the Man-at-Arms on the Sword of Omens because it looks amazing and it has everything to do with just. And I think you know what it is. It's the logo. The logo is, it's the redundant logo put onto the sword.
Yeah.
The logo carries most of this premise.
Right. Okay.
Like, it is as good as the Ghostbusters logo.
Right. Wait, is the logo on the sword?
Yes, it is.
I thought it was an eye.
It becomes an eye when he needs sight beyond sight.
So it's magic.
Yeah, they're cat people.
Cat people don't have to be magic.
No, but they are.
I'm just saying cat people don't have to be magic.
Chitara's fast like the Flash. Like, they all have like specific innate powers. They're magic.
Cheetahs are fast. They can run
250,000 miles per hour.
They can fly.
They can read your mind.
Josh Gates has told us this.
That's
we know
true.
this.
Yeah.
Listen, I am not. I have offended people in the chat, and I apologize for that. I'm not saying it's not iconic. I was just asking.
No, you were just asking why. Explain yourself.
Why folks?
No, look, you know what?
Like, I'll general. Like, I'm just.
I'll throw myself on the Sword of Omens for this one. I don't care for the colors on the pommel.
I don't know.
There's this kind of jewels they put on the pommel.
Okay.
It's like it's already fire. You don't need to add these colored like crystals on the pommel.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it's already got the big jewel that becomes an eye. We don't need that.
I have no listen, and like here's the thing: I have no right to ask. I am a Sailor Moon fan.
Yeah, you did.
You.
Yeah, like why any? She has a magic diaphragm that becomes a freaking costume and stuff. Like. What? It opens up.
It's a locket.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't watch.
I don't think you know what a diaphragm is.
You know I don't. But no, it is a locket. But like But I'm
just saying, like, I have no right. I am not judging at all.
It's all pink.
I just wanted to understand.
No. It's important to ask questions. But as far as Declan Shalvey's Thundercats is concerned, it assuages any of the concerns you might have about the show, but it also manages to be like it isn't like there was Wildstorm had the license for a hot minute, and I had to read it. And I read it like maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
And yeah, it sucks on toast. But and I was like, maybe we'll do it on back issues. I'm like, no. We're not going to do He-Man versus Thundercats, then we can't do the freaking Wildstorm Forgotten Thundercats event. But this takes the cartoon and it just like makes them not say inane nonsense.
Right.
Like they look exactly like they do from the cartoon. It takes the exact premise from the cartoon, but it doesn't like dumb it down, nor does it try and like edge it, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh man, and Chitara like sleeps with everybody. It's like there's nothing weird. You don't want any edging in your comics. But it's dope, and it's fun, and it works. And it's just like if you like a Declan Shalvey book, like his Alien series or any number of books that he's done before that he's written, you're gonna dig this. And Declan Shalvey does all the covers. Drew Moss does a nice job of like kind of bringing the cartoon to life, but not in a like. There's that new series that was actually really cool that like kind of updated it and made it more like Eastern inspired or whatever you do when you do the Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of style. I don't know what else to call that, but it's not like that. Okay. Which is still and no offense to anyone who liked that show, because as I understand it, it was a really cool show that had like a real mythology in it and a genuine attempt to recontextualize the Thundercats universe for its own new audience. But this is the 80s cartoon, but not stupid.
Okay.
They should put on the cover. Like the 80s cartoon, ... but not stupid.
Okay, well, so the sales were really good. Have you heard how people are like
I mean, I've seen people say no.
Okay.
No, I all I can speak to is what I've read, and I like it. I'm like, this is cool. It's good. It's as good as when IDW had Ghostbusters. Like that was, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh, this is good. This is cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Like I want to see where this is going. But yeah, that's it. Thundercats.
No notes.
The glove. Yeah. I don't even know what that does. I think the dagger goes into it. You can hide it in there.
Oh.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, because it's a magic.
But why would he have a glove that's a cat hand? He is a cat man. Isn't that weird?
No, but
that's like me wearing like a glove made out of a gorilla.
Yeah. But like,
well, because like
yes, because it's like that's where we came from. But like, no, it's
because I figured the chimp hand would be too small, so I had to go bigger.
Well, it depends. Anyway, no, it's because
isn't that weird?
Because he's like the leader. Like he inherits these like special like totems that represent like you get the sword, you get the glove, like you're the destined leader of our people. Yeah.
I can't help
Yeah, try not to overthink it.
I'm
Look,
sorry.
the point is to sell action figures. The reason why he has a glove is because he
He can have
a
a glove,
No.
but why does it look like
because
what
they're
came off
cats.
But why does it look like he took the hand of like the paw of a cat, cut it off, and then shoved his own hand in it?
Okay. The reason why He-Man rides a green tiger is because Mattel had a tiger.
That behind the scenes thing.
So my guess is the company that made the Thundercats figures were like, we have these larger cat things. We you know what I mean? We have all these cat paws.
Hang on. I want to address a comment in the chat that says, no, you wear gloves designed after humans. Technically, yes, but I'm not wearing human skin. If I'm wearing a leather glove, it's a cow.
Right, he already has fur.
Like, it's just.
But it's not fur. The glove he's wearing isn't fur. It's like marble.
It's not fur. Okay.
No, it's not flowy.
In the image,
it's sculpted to look like fur.
That's different.
My guess is it's
that's very different. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. It looked like it was furry. It looked like
it looks like fur because it's a cat hand.
Under my ancestors, I wear their paws. So I might make biscuits later.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna make biscuits of you, Mumra. Yeah, it's ferocious. Anyway, the story's fun, and the characters are all exactly as you remember them, but like without them being. Because I remember one time, it was on Toonami, and I was hanging out with my friends, and I was like, "Oh shit, Thundercats is getting like they're putting out Thundercats. Did you guys ever watch Thundercats?" Nah, I didn't really watch Thundercats. I was too busy playing ball, and I was like, "Sure." Yeah, we're all sitting in a room watching one person play Counter-Strike, and you guys were the sports nuts. Sure. But so I'm like, well, you guys are in for it. Watch it. That incredible lie of a theme song with like that heretofore unsurpassed animation, right? No show in the West looked like that intro. And you're like, here we go. And then they're like, and everyone's just like, let's find the mega condenser.
What?
It's just okay. So like an outtake reel from the original recordings of the Thundercats like leaked on the internet many years ago, and it was like going around. And so yeah, if you're a huge like fan of old 80s nostalgia cartoons and stuff, that you might remember the theme. Like you might remember that meme or trope or period when like that joke came out. It was
okay.
But anyway, you just hear all your favorite Thundercats at their prime cursing and making fun of each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's super great.
They're like real people too,
right? Yeah. But well, it's great. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Panther and Snarf being like, oh no, Lion, you screwed up again. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay.
We don't really talk about Thundercats very much.
I apparently we have to.
Evidently.
You're gonna need a Thundercats buddy.
Right? I do not, because I don't even like the show. That's the point. Is we were watching it for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this sucks." And they're like, "Yeah, you love this, huh?" And I'm like, "I thought I did." Yeah, and it's like, "No, I love the logo and I love the theme song, and I dug the action figures because when the shows aren't supposed to be good, the whole point is that after deregulation, the shows aren't meant to be good. They're meant to be easy to produce, up to 100 episodes, so you can be in syndication forever and sell the goddamn toys.
Right.
We're not trying to change the world here. It ain't like comic books where, like, you know, we're trying to tell stories and, like, you know, people will riot if they suck. Well, unless it's Denville Super Pro.
Sailor Moon managed to sell things, but also tell a solid story.
Well, it was a different cultural phenomenon. You know, well, there was no government deregulation that said that you know, Sailor Moon exists. Sailor Moon didn't exist to sell toys. No. Sailor Moon existed and sold toys.
Yes, I guess that's true.
Anyway, thank you, Thorn Identity, for that anecdote. It's true. Yeah, Kimba the White Lion, which if you've ever seen it or seen any minute of it, you're like, oh, the Lion King is a complete theft job. Yeah. That is just what a hack job.
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about more comic books, what else did you read?
I didn't fully read it because when
okay. Well, that's kind of what the show is. I would hope you.
Because when I purchased it, I didn't realize it was 100 pages.
Oh, you're talking about that Guy Gardner book?
No, I'm talking about Magneto. Magneto Was Right by J.M. DeMatteis.
Oh, yeah.
That came out, and I was like, I'm going to check this out. I'm like, this seems really long. It was like $8.
Yeah, that's the trade paperback of his mini series that he put out recently.
Yeah. So that came out.
Damn it.
No, it's kind of fun, though. I read a little bit of it.
Yeah, well, it's J.M. DeMatteis. Dude
Yeah.
knows how to spin a yarn.
Yeah, just FYI. But it was cheap.
That's weird.
It was like super cheap.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just if you're looking for that,
What's
it's cheap.
you know,
Or it was at least when I purchased it.
yeah.
Sorry, my wristwatch is letting me know that apparently I just completed my
Your
my
steps.
step goal
Uh-oh.
from doing this.
From just moving your hands. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why?
Anyway, why would you invite that kind of situation?
Because I'm a chaos goblin.
You are
I'm
you
chaotic.
and our cat.
Yeah.
The
Jeez.
you know, we call out J. Michael Straczynski, creator of Babylon 5. Is
Yeah.
there a property that we could slap on for James DeMatteis?
I don't know. But just because he has two initials?
It's the first two initials and
I don't know.
you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, Magneto was right.
And he's in his little suit.
Oh yeah, that horrible, awful purple costume.
That's part of the reason why I was kind of reading through it. I was like, "Wah."
Yeah.
And
he didn't usually wear the helmet.
It sucks.
Well, he didn't wear the helmet with it normally.
But the whole thing, I was like, no, this was a mistake.
I know. I loathe it.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
It's really not. Like it's.
They were trying things. Yeah, it
just-
was the 80s.
Oh, is that good? Is that the excuse now?
We just used it for Thundercats.
We know you used it for Thundercats.
Well, I was right to do it. Anyway, well, that's so. Check out that book.
I mean, yeah, why not? I just wanted to be like, no, look, I bought this thing.
You did, yeah.
You did.
I want
And,
credit for reading
But
some of this.
it just came out in August.
Yeah. It finished in
like,
August. That's crazy.
They just turned it around real fast. But it's like, listen, if you're just waiting for the fall of House of X to occur and you're looking for something that feels older and nostalgic, I highly recommend you
with
go
quality.
With quality, but like you still want to read something that's current-ish. Read that because literally it's like here's some stuff that happened in between.
Right. Remember
Magneto's,
that
pretty
complicated
hot right now.
Yes.
You know, he's not here.
Yeah, he's physically not here right now.
Additionally, I read X-Men this week. X-Men
31.
Number 31 came out. Written by freaking who's writing this? Is it Duggan or is it Ewing?
I think it was Duggan, right?
I think it's Ewing.
Oh.
I think you're right though.
It's usually
it's
Duggan.
Jerry Duggan. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. With art by Phil Noto.
Yay!
This was a great book.
Of course it was.
It was really sad.
Oh no.
And it was really good though. It was excellent. And man, I just came to realize, I mean, probably not across the board, but like when I think about like people leading the X-Men, it's typically my mind's eye is Cyclops.
Or Storm.
Right, but yes, but I'm like, it's Cyclops, right?
Yeah.
And Jean, right?
Yes.
Like, just apparently don't be leading the X-Men and be in a relationship.
Oh no.
Like, just don't. It's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah.
This issue just kind of lets go of the Talon and Sync relationship, and it is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
I thought we were gonna get that, but not like next.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like it's just and like it's done really well. It's just Sync, like Duggan's like, hey, don't forget, part of the way that Sync was able to do what he was doing, because he was borrowing powers from people who weren't nearby, and it was really like destroying his body. But the way he was able to do so is he was borrowing Talon's regenerative abilities.
Right.
But she's gone. So like he's going downhill, and he's trying to hang on to her using Jean's borrowed powers, where Jean's not even here. She's not even alive, you know? Like, so it's all falling apart. He's falling apart. And they had this really sweet conversation in his mind while it's like burning down around them. And it's like, it's just really well done. I love this issue. They also are taking off the table the fact that Orcus has like human hostages essentially with whoever took the Krakoan medicine. They've solved that presumably.
Yay, good.
And so we're just like tying up some loose ends and just giving you some like emotional damage.
Yeah.
Because that was like, I thought this was really well done. It was a great issue this week. Just really beautiful and just sad. And I like have really, really fallen in love with these two characters. Like just Talon and Sync. I love them.
You ship them.
I ship them. I'm here for them. I think they're great. And I'm sad to see them go if they're to be let go fully at the end of Krakoa. I just think they're a great couple and very unique.
Let me ask you this.
Yo, what's up?
We just casually changed Wolverine's costume from brown to yellow. There was no triumphant moment in any of the Fall of X series where Wolverine like makes the conscious decision to go yellow, and I think that's kind of a crime.
I think he did that because Laura was wearing the yellow and
Yeah,
blue.
I know, but there's no moment where he puts them. You know what I mean? Like there's a lost art to comics where we take a minute and celebrate the suit and the suiting up sequence.
Right, but that would I feel like that's just Wolverine being like, it's who cares?
But
I'm old.
because you've deliberately been wearing the brown one during this entire era, and now you're not. You've been almost deliberately avoiding the yellow suit, and now suddenly you're wearing it. It feels more like brand synergy than it feels like a conscious decision to do it. And I feel like if you're going to write a beautiful farewell, like if you're like, I don't know, dealing with the loss of a loved one and you want like some kind of cementing and emotionally, you could read this book.
Yeah.
You'd think maybe they'd also consider the fact that Wolverine's wearing the yellow spandex again, and it should be addressed.
Maybe he'll put it on in Sabretooth Wolverine.
There we go. Yes, because that book could take place whenever, and who gives a crap?
Maybe they'll do that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't take place whenever.
No, it can't. But yeah.
Oh, additionally, yes, Kingpin and Typhoid Mary are reunited, but it's like it's so like like I don't care.
Like, this is the
I don't care. I'm not. I don't care about how
I don't care about
sad
Kingpin
Wilson
in this
Fisk
book.
is. Whatever. This was just so well done. Like the two of them. Oh, so sad.
Yeah,
very sad.
That's true.
Also, Wolverine does show up in this book though.
Well, he's on the cover. He'd better.
Yeah, no, she's just like, hey, and I'm here.
I'm here too.
And he's wearing the yellow and blue.
Right, but he was wearing it before. We read Ultimate Black Panther #1.
Yes, we did. I was like, oh, are we there? We're doing it. Here we go.
Why not? From Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the sold out book that no one can get unless you get the second edition.
Or you read it digitally.
Right, or
you buy it on like Amazon. Or
right, exactly. You get it on Kindle.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think the way that they pitched it when they talked about like, if you like Dune, you'll probably like this. And it's like, yeah, I see the inspiration. This is a book about Wakanda.
Like light.
It's not as dense. It could have gone denser. But I'm glad it didn't either. It was easy to follow, and it was a fun story. But it sets up the universe, sets up the characters. Here's T'Challa. He's king of Wakanda. He's married to Okoye. She was the leader of the Dora Milaje. They're together now, and Shuri's a genius, and she's a sister, and we got that. His father's alive, and she's mad because she's kind of a warmonger, not to mention Killmonger, who was also in this book,
along with somebody else.
But the Wakanda, he's a thoughtful, measured king who wants to have all the facts, and then rally his forces and deal with this other problem. There's this clandestine group that's destroying tribes or groups in Africa. First it starts in East Africa and then moves to West Africa, but indiscriminately just destroying these groups. They are Ra and they are. At first I thought they were like representatives or they were like agents of Ra and Khonshu. No, they are Ra and Khonshu made manifest on Earth, wearing like suits and being here and executing their plan, which seems to be just pissing off Wakanda or attacking people in Africa. But this is setting up a straight up war. You were hoping Black Panther was going to like tie in with anything. It's its own book.
He's doing his own thing.
I think that's all the better for it. It'll be this like tome when it's done.
There could be a way that they tie in.
Oh, well, actually, in the opening of the book, as you remember, like it explains like the Maker and Society of Supervillains and all this stuff. It's like, no, you need to know that it's in that universe.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see like how this story unfolds and becomes this kind of like epic. But yeah, Wakanda versus Khonshu and Ra, and Ra and Khonshu working together to piss off Wakanda.
I really enjoyed it, and I'm not like I am an MCU fan of Black Panther. I'm just gonna put it out there like that.
Why wouldn't you be?
I was introduced to most of the lore from that, and I understand that's not exactly what it is, but I was like, oh, cool. Like I really enjoyed the like mystical elements of it tied to like the super sciencey futuristic tech. Like it's just a solid balance, right? I'm just like, that's really cool.
Totally.
Right? You get these two things. And so like to jump in on this felt comfortable,
easy,
but also very approachable.
Yes.
It's if you've ever been interested, while this is not
the main universe,
this is not Black Panther as others might have known them, it might make you feel comfortable to start this and then maybe more comfortable than to go pick up some other books. So I feel like this is maybe a good like entry point in a weird way where it's just like, hey, get used to the names, get used to some of like the this version's history of the character, and then you can maybe go back and pick up some other stuff.
Agreed. No, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Art's fantastic. Very superhero.
Yeah.
Felt but grounded and
Yeah.
it reminded me of an X book right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Okoye T'Challa thing, like I love the two of them in the movie.
Right.
So I
So
was always like,
that was one of those like
I was like, what happened? I was like, well, of course.
I was like, yeah, like it's such an easy
course.
decision to make. It also it eliminates any questions. You know, no, there's no storm. You know, or you're not going to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, Lord knows, is there a storm in this universe? Just ask Peach Momoko and we'll see if it shows up. I don't know.
Are you being funny?
No, I mean, I know she shows up.
Oh,
later,
okay.
but
I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like,
what?
but like, how does that relate to the X-Men? Is it the what?
Just take her off the table.
All right,
That's what I'm
fine.
saying. That could be the Lynch.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, Killmonger's in there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a dope book.
No, I enjoyed it. It was good pace, fast moving, and it's just interesting to put Khonshu
Yes.
in this position. And I'm looking forward to learning more about that side of it too. Like, and again, we're talking about gods, so of course I can't wait to find out what they're going to do in this with
Bast.
With Bast. Like that's kind of neat. So,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun book.
I really did too.
I also read Batman 142, of course, from Chip Zdarsky, with art by Giuseppe Camuncoli and Andrea Sorrentino. And let me tell you something. The Andrea Sorrentino art. That said, I don't like Giuseppe Camuncoli on Spider-Man and most books. I don't like the faces.
Okay.
I got a problem. But he does a nice job. He does a serviceable job. Everything else, his inorganic matter, even his suit, everything from the neck down looks awesome. Of course, when he draws it, the faces. But as Joker, it can't be the same face he does for everybody. So it's Joker. But the Andrea Sorrentino art is something else. Clearly, like the directive was like, you know, evoke a feeling of like Dave McKean and like make me think of like a Serious House and Serious Earth and just really, really gorgeous looking pages that are the book is essentially all over the place. It's multiple timelines, it spans multiple areas, and it makes you like think of different places and times, and but the art is also meant to like cement you in that time.
Whoa.
Right? Like,
whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
that is jarring.
It is it is a straight up sharp change from what you expect. But great. I was like, oh my God, I've not seen anything like this.
That's crazy.
So cool.
Yeah.
The book is a mess.
Oh.
The book is an absolute mess.
No way. Really?
I can't acclimate myself in time and space. I have no idea when things are supposed to take place. It cements 0 year in continuity when no other book has, while also being in the Rebirth era / like New Frontier, whatever the hell we are in. It is a big epic Joker story.
Yeah. In
the middle of an arc about something that has nothing to do with Joker.
Right.
It feels like I saw someone liken it to a side quest, which I don't agree with, because I think side quests are important and they add metatext and flesh out the stories, and you know what I mean, it pads runtime for games, but it also like it you know, if you're building a big open world, it's fun. Like if Spider-Man didn't have side quests, it'd be a boring game, you know? Right. And same thing with like Skyrim and, you know, all these different games that have like side quests that are not part of the main plot.
Yeah.
But this felt like it could have been its own thing. It could have been its own miniseries. It could have been a Black Label book. It could have been a number of things. I'm not saying that it should have been one thing or another, but it's very you know, out of nowhere. It was built up a little bit in the previous couple of arcs, or in the previous arc of Zdarsky's run, where it's like, here's Joker for no reason, and we're doing this. I don't know what we're doing.
Okay. And
it was really hard to like set myself in space and time, because we're dealing. I don't know if we're in the future at one point, or if we're in the present, or if we're in like the near future or the far future. Maybe we're not supposed to, but like I gotta be able to acclimate myself in time and space.
Right.
Like I gotta know at least where we are.
Right.
You know, and then we're dealing with we're doing flashbacks to 0 year, but we're also tying it in with the big Batman multiverse story, where like Red Mask inadvertently or deliberately made multiple Jokers, and like Jokers came out of the Killing Joke, and like there's 3 Jokers in the Killing Joke. And I'm like, wait, is that what happened? Like, it was hard to tell what actually happened in the Red Mask story with the multiple Jokers and the multiversal stuff, and what its ramifications are. And obviously, it was set up in that, and it's paying off in this, and that's you do you, and that's exactly what you were meant to do, right? But like, I don't know, it was hard to follow.
Okay.
And the art was the best part of it, but it was just, if you like missed the part where there are multiple Jokers, or don't really understand why or when they were supposed to have been created, there's no way you can follow this.
Okay.
And then adding to that, like it's like a retcon, or like not even a retcon, but like a deepening of of 0 year. It's like, what?
Right.
It is baffling.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a damn shame, because I like what I read. You know, like the things that are happening, I'm like, this seems cool. If only I knew when or where it was happening. And maybe I'm just a big dummy dumb. Obviously, there are people in the comments who agree, but like, you know, it wasn't apparent.
Okay.
Not it wasn't obvious, not it wasn't like clear. It wasn't apparent.
Okay.
And I got when we were in the 0 year, but I don't understand what we're trying to do.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a damn shame, because I know these creators and they do good work, and they can do good work. And this could be good work. And maybe if I just got like one sentence that explained what the hell's happening, like maybe you read it and explain it to me. You know,
me?
I'll be like, oh, but like just me on my own, I couldn't follow it.
Okay.
And
I read it without reading the other ones?
I would not recommend it.
Okay, well, I'll do it anyway then.
Do it anyway, but like, but you'll have to draw your own. You'll end up drawing your own conclusions. Like, it'll be hard to do. You know what I mean? Just a you know, it's a shame, and it's like Joker. You know, again.
Right.
Chris Fit 138. Hey, first time. Welcome.
Welcome.
Do you think they'll finish the Krakoa blank of X collected editions, or do you think they'll just all be separated now? No, I think they'll finish them.
They'll probably finish them.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe.
Eric Wu, hey Sal, thanks for bringing Black Label's Rogues to my attention. Got it for Christmas. Nice. It is as gritty and good as you presented it. Keep popping.
Nice.
Glad to hear
Very
it, man.
nice.
I like that book a lot. People complaining about how Black Label's only about Batman. Well, why did you buy Rogues? Girk Pectus, when I saw Joker Year 1 had flash forwards, I thought, let me guess, zombie Joker apocalypse? It's not like they've done this a dozen times already. Who cares? Yeah, spoilers for the end of the book. There's a zombie Joker apocalypse in the future. The funny Joker 42, thank you for your generosity. Love you guys. Love you too, man. Thanks very much. Kevin Kruger, I hope when the Swamp Thing movie is out that the suit from the show is used. It was fantastic looking. It was fantastic looking and better than CGI. Happy Mardi Gras. Oh wow, happy Mardi Gras to you too. I liked it. Yeah, we watched that show. We were there, not like when they were making it, but we were there at the timeshare meeting when DC was pitching their app.
Yes.
And they were like, Swamp Thing. Oops.
It was good though.
It was good. I liked it.
Oops, money.
But oops. Yeah. Was the suit good? I don't really remember. Abby. If you watch that show.
They mean the original show.
No, he means the show. Like the DC show. There was no original show. The only original show was the cartoon.
Oh, why did I think there was a Swamp Thing show?
Because there were Swamp Thing movies. I think there was at least one or two, starring Adrienne Barbeau in the first one.
I don't
know. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
The cartoon show used a pastiche of Wild Thing. You know, Wild Thing, you make my heart. Instead, replace it with Swamp Thing.
Just
inspired.
Just keep going.
That show, by the way, existed to sell action figures. There is an entire line of Swamp Thing action figures. I owned one of them. RK, hey guys, Spider Boy, he returneth? Yeah, right? I wonder if the Spider... Remember I speculated about that?
Oh, yeah.
Dan Slott got Spider Boy? Maybe that was as a result of the talks. Also, Kyle is back in Green Lantern tomorrow, so that is a great week for me. Hope it's great for you too. Yeah, folks, Kyle Rayner's coming back in Green Lantern. Check it out.
Nice.
Lenny Laserdisc's not huge on Thundercats, but I'm hoping it's perfect for all its fans. Have a good week. ComicPop.
I love that.
Yeah. Girk Peck says, have you seen Dr. Madrid? It's a hilariously bad Doctor Strange ripoff that MST3K covered. Jeffrey Combs' Reanimator is surprisingly good. No. No, I did not see that. I remember there was a Doctor Strange movie that they no, but they made. I remember they made like some like in the 90s. They made a Doctor Strange movie, and then they had to like file the serial numbers off, and then just make some other movie. Like there is a Doctor Strange movie out there that they made where if you just change the names, it is Doctor Strange, and it might be Dr. Mordred. I don't remember.
Chat. There was another live action Swamp Thing show.
What?
I don't know. That's what the chat's saying.
Was there?
I don't know. Well, we're doing a show right now, man.
Swamp Thing TV.
We haven't even talked about the last thing.
It's true. We haven't. There was one in the 90s. What?
How many seasons was it?
2.
No.
1 to 2.
Number of seasons.
3? What? This is outrageous. How have I never seen this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why am I the first one hearing about this? Dante Cook can't stay, but loved the Thundercats. Love Thundercats, the comic, and the interview. Can't wait for issue 2. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I honestly didn't know there was a show. I just assumed there was a show for some reason.
Fair.
So I can't say I knew about that.
Bear Farmer, thanks for your support. I loved everything Spider-Man does, and says in X-Men 31, him webbing the computer had me laughing so hard I couldn't read the words.
No, he did. Yes, no, he's great, and apparently he's a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah,
because they're in they end up fighting what's his name, Nimrod.
Yes.
And Kurt uses his bamfing abilities to help get people out of there, and he's like, "Could you bamf me someplace safer, like Mordor?" Yes. Yes, Spidey.
Sean D. Hi, you guys. Back in the, I don't know. Is that a saddle?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. It's just too small.
Oh, in the hospital.
Oh, you're back in the hospital. I'm sorry. That sucks.
To be fair, the emote on your end looks vastly different from the emote in the actual chat to us.
Thank you.
Like,
yeah.
No.
StreamYard reinterprets them. So
but here it looks. Definitely looks like that.
You always help me pass my time. Well, I'm glad we can help out, man. I'm sorry. Hopefully you were there.
Yeah, it's a short visit.
Short visit.
You feel better.
Yeah, take care, buddy. He also says, I don't know how to word it right, but I just want you to know I appreciate always having your streams and shows to pass the time. Well, we're happy to provide them, man.
Even if we can't read emotes, apparently.
It's true. Even though
it's not your fault.
Even if I thought it was like a sloth on its back waving.
That was a what?
I don't know.
That was a good use of emote to like shorten. Like I love that. No, you were right to do that. And
you did great. Yeah. The Bear Farmer says the ComicPop always gets paid. If you could build a team of 3 previously established Fox mutants to be Wade and Logan's X-Men team, who would you pick? I'm going Nightcrawler, Cyclops, and Colossus. Obviously, the Colossus from the Deadpool movies is one of them. I would love to see him interact with Wolverine so that we can get a fastball special of the Fox universe.
100%.
Nightcrawler is always fun, but I don't think Alan Cumming wants to have anything to do with that role anymore. I love Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I thought she was great, but that's a Deadpool character more than a Fox character. Yeah. So, it'd be great. Bring back Lady Deathstrike. That poor actress really deserved another shot being cool. And
what about? Oh, she's not a mutant. That's a mutant. No, she is a mutant. I just liked her from the Wolverine.
Oh, Yukio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot.
Is it the same Yukio? I mean, it's not the same actor, obviously, but like, is the Yukio that is in a relationship with Negasonic Teenage Warhead supposed to be the same Yukio? Or are there 2 X-Men characters named Yukio? Anyway,
I don't know.
It's weird. Heartless Fang, thanks for the guidance on X-Books last month. Tore through it, but liked Way of X and Legion of X the best. Now to catch up with the main X-Books.
You've got good taste.
That's right. Those are good. Girk Peck says, I love Killmonger and Storm working together in Ultimate BP. Totally. And Thorn Identity, thanks for generosity.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you folks on Blue Sky? That's a great question. And the answer is yes.
Yes, I am.
Just to park it. But I do use it. And if you follow it, oh, geez, Benny called me. Oh, geez, Benny called me. Oh, no. Let's see what the hell my name is. I think it's just ComicPop
I'm
at
the
Blue
real
Sky.
Zoobs.
You are the real Zoobs. .bisky.social. I am ComicPop at .bluesky.social. So I'm ComicPop. Tiffany is the real Zoobs. You can follow us there.
If you're on Blue Sky,
if you're on the Blue Skies, check it out.
Get me over there.
And if you're on Threads, I'm ComicPop official. And Tiffany is the real Zoobs.
I'm pretty consistent,
which is a good idea. Yeah. And if one company didn't park it on ComicPop, I would be the only one.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah. And then speaking of Deadpool, great point, previous viewer. But
Who's the fake Zoobs?
who's the fake Zoobs?
You don't want to meet them.
You don't. Deadpool 3, or rather, Deadpool and Wolverine got a trailer at the big game.
The big game.
The big copyright-free game. We got a trailer for this movie, and for my money, it might be one of the smartest cut trailers of the year. Such a good trail. I think it did a great job of like giving us inklings of what the story's about without giving it away, without giving away the store. And I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love this idea, and it's really cool. And so, what was your initial reaction to this trailer?
I mean, it's a Ryan Reynolds fueled project, you know, like
which means Sean Levy is directing it now.
No, I just mean like, so it was amazing because you're like the trailer had dropped. We were not watching the big game, so we watched it over on YouTube. And when we loaded it up, it was a Mint Mobile ad. I was like, Ryan Reynolds is all over this.
Well, it's because we're watching it, I think, on his channel. We're watching it on the Ryan Reynolds channel, not the Fox or not the Marvel channel.
But it's still it was the ad.
Oh like, no, it was. The ad, the pre-roll ad was a Mint Mobile ad.
Yeah. No, I listen, I'm here for it. I think Ryan Reynolds is great. There was something that happened in this that I was like, what? I just wasn't paying attention nor thinking about how this would all work. And so like when the TVA shows up in the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Totally. No, there's a lot to unpack, and I don't know if I want to necessarily unpack all of it because I'm like, obviously I'm looking at the IMDb thing and it has like actors in it, and there's no way they know. But so it's not 100% accurate.
No, it's just going by just this.
Yeah, but and rumors and like behind the scenes stuff. But like but just from looking at the trailer, there's a couple things that I thought were interesting that I wanted to point out, and I pointed them out on a previous show.
I'm wondering if you're caught the same thing I caught.
I don't think Wade and Vanessa are together anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
Right?
I think they're done.
I think they're done
there
too.
Was like a serious body language
between
the two of them.
And Marina Baccarin's a great actor, so like
he looks really sad.
Yes, and she is like trying to live her life. I assume the baby didn't work out. And it caused their relationship to kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
Like this, because like, look, the Deadpool we see in this, the Wade Wilson with the fake hair and everything, for me, that reminds me so much of the broken Deadpool we got in Deadpool 2 after Vanessa died, where he was just kind of like moping around. Like his default is to wear like old dad clothes or to look like he does, you know? And I think it's because he is like broken and sad. I think that like he's trying, but like
it's probably why he agrees to work on with the TVA, because either he's trying to find a timeline where the two of them worked out,
right? Or maybe he'll like fix the timeline. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I don't think the movie's going to
saluted Cap.
I know. He's Canadian. I don't think that
he's got respect for Cap.
It's true. Yeah,
like
he
Deadpool.
Does. Yeah, comic book Deadpool does.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is even going to be trying. I think we did the movie where he's trying to like where he's mourning Vanessa. I think in this one, it'll be more about like him lashing out.
Right.
Or trying to find belonging. You know, like he's respectful. I don't think it's going to be about like going against what Vanessa's wishes are.
Right.
Or like trying to change her mind without her consent. I think it's going to be like, where do I belong now? You know, like I talked a big game wearing my stupid hair and trying to like fit in, but like I don't belong anywhere.
Right.
And
I really messed up this timeline.
And I messed up this timeline. Well, everyone who died was in that room at the birthday party. Shatterstar and Pete.
Yep.
And it's just like, and Vanessa. And it's like they moved on. And that's really interesting. Like that's an interesting idea of like where Wade is at this point.
Yeah. Like not quite sad clown.
Yeah, but like we're getting there, or we are there.
Right.
But like that also, the whole theme of the movie in terms of the marketing, like the poster was released where it's like a friendship necklace between Wolverine and Deadpool. Yeah. Like clearly it's like Wade
Deadpool needs a friend.
Deadpool needs a friend. That's the movie. The movie is about Deadpool looking for companionship, friendship, belonging. That's the movie. The movie is his arc is finding companionship.
Yeah.
And of course, metatextually, it's going to be him folded into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He might not even survive this story. Like, he might not even be folded into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, this is going to be the shot, because like Hollywood really only looks at these things as one-offs anyway. Like, they only look at, like, you know, whenever they say things like, oh, you know, Thor 3, and like you'll hear, well, back when they were, you know, when they were working on the next ones for things, and you'd hear the actor being like, I don't know, I've never heard anything, I haven't heard anything about it, you know, because they're like, well, I'm working on this, and then I work on the next thing. Like, they're not thinking of it long term outside of like signing a contract, and then like, as every Hollywood, you know, elite is likes to say, every movie that's made is like a miracle, that it's made it all because of like all the working parts. So it's like, this could be the only thing. Like, Deadpool might show up in another Secret Wars movie or something, but like, this could be it. And if it is, mitigate your expectations, because like this, I mean, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. For sure. Yeah. But I think his depression or lack of fitting in is going to be the catalyst.
I agree.
For whatever happens next.
Right. It'll allow him to be more ruthless and more violent, which will of course be fun, because even though the trailer says this movie is not yet rated, Kevin Feige has said it's going to be rated R, and I'm going to hold it to it, Kev. But it's supposed to be like, it's going to be violent. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be like merciless, and he's going to have a lot of aggression to work out.
Yeah. So is this to be taken that it's functioning at what history for the TVA? I know the TVA exists outside of time.
Yeah, my guess is it's post Loki season 2.
Because if it is, then shouldn't this be a better TVA?
Well, I mean, presumably it should be, but what does that mean?
Right, like why would they need to worry about pruning branches then?
Yeah, well, I don't think they are pruning branches.
Oh.
I don't know what they're doing, but there's a lot of changes. For example, somebody did a cross analysis of like the suits, completely different outfits. Like, not completely, but like somebody said they MCU'd the TVA. Or like the TVA with they had a lot more cloth, they had a lot less armor. They are militarized. It could be that after Mobius and Ouroboros and Loki left the TVA, or not really associated with it, Ravonna and etc., that it got like someone else took over. Someone became more militarized. You know, obviously Kang's not gonna be involved, so it's not like it's like Kang took over, and so it's obviously like a you know, horrible corrupt system. But someone else, like some opportunist, could have taken over and been using it for their own personal desires. I personally think that it's going to be, I mean, like, and I think it's not telling tales out of school to assume that this movie is going to be a movie about Deadpool being told one thing and being used and then being betrayed. You know, like, I guarantee that the TVA is going to betray Deadpool.
Oh,
you know?
sure.
And I think it might be similar to the plot of Deadpool 1. In Deadpool 1, a clandestine organization comes before Wade Wilson and say, we got an offer for you. I noticed you're in a really bad place. Well, we're going to make you into a superhero, and you're going to have some place that belongs. And then they betray him.
Right.
And then he ruins them. I feel like that's this movie. It's just Deadpool 1 again, but with more Marvel characters.
Yeah, they could actually be just a branch that is militant.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I remember what it was like to be in the TVA beforehand, and I'm like, that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it'll be a fun, like, callback situation. Like, we saw the rear shot of, obviously, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the patch suit.
Yes. I
think that we're seeing not the Fox universe Wolverine. I think we're seeing different versions of Wolverine.
Okay.
The movie could go completely off the rails, and it could be really weird. I pitched this in another show, but this could be a movie about, like, the MCU trying to, like, get back on track. And, like, for example, Fox never put Hugh Jackman Wolverine in a suit, yet he's everywhere in the suit. He's Patch. We know that Hugh Jackman is not Wolverine in the MCU. He's not the Wolverine they're going to cast for the MCU Wolverine. So it's not like, oh no, this is the MCU's Wolverine, and you're just seeing like all these fun things with Hugh Jackman that no one got to do. What if the TVA is metatextually acting on behalf of the MCU to set the stage for the X-Men to be revealed in the, like, you know, in their MCU counterparts? And in order to do that, Wade's got to go back and essentially prune it.
Right.
And then, like, because we see what looks like the end of time in the TVA, where like people get pruned.
Right.
Like, there's the 20th Century Fox logo, like, that's destroyed in the background and stuff. And like, it could be that like the Wolverine he bumps into in the yellow and blue suit is like a pruned Wolverine. Like, There is a version of Wolverine that Fox got right.
Oh.
And the TVA pruned him because that would really conflict with that would really get in the way of when we get it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that's like a thing they want to really go the road they want to go down, where it kind of paints them as the bad guys, like Disney / the like Marvel Studios as the bad guys. But they did the same thing in She-Hulk when the Marvel Studios was a soulless robot that like just put things together and released them based on market research. But I think that this Wolverine we're going to see is like a pruned Wolverine that was like part of a universe that was, Fox adjacent. It was like somewhere between the MCU and Fox that was like cool enough that if you had gotten it, you wouldn't have wholly embraced the MCU when it came on the scene.
Okay.
But yeah.
All I know is we got to wait till July, right?
July 26th or something like that. It's like the end of
26th.
Towards the end of July. It's directed by Sean Levy. I don't like his movies. He made Free Guy, which was quite awful. And he made The Atom Project, which
but he also made Arrival.
Right, which
he's a producer.
He produced it, yeah. But yeah,
he's a producer on most of those things.
It's true, yeah. But
is he directing this?
He's directing this. He directed The Atom Project. He directed Free Guy.
Okay.
And those are not very good. But he also worked on Stranger Things, and and he's produced a number of other movies and shows that are like beloved and cool and could work.
Maybe Free Guy was just a check. Sometimes you just need those checks.
Yeah. But I mean, like, his name's also on things like the awful Pink Panther movie with Steve Martin and Night at the Museum and Real Steel. But as I understand it, he and Reynolds are like friends.
But Real Steel had Hugh Jackman, so he's worked with both actors.
That's right.
Before.
Yeah. So he knows how to get the performances if they fight robots. But yeah, which they might. I mean, X-Men.
Well, hopefully it's good.
I hope it's good.
I feel like as long as there's a decent script that like Ryan Reynolds' charm will take us a long
easily
way.
Yes. And as they pointed out, he did direct Stranger Things, and I will not. There's no point in the 3 or 4 seasons that I've seen of Stranger Things, all of them. I've seen all of Stranger Things until the next one. That I thought, boy, the direction in this is really bad. There's not a single episode where I went, ooh. So it's not even like, oh, he only directed the bad ones. Like, I would not be able to tell what the bad ones are. Anyway, so Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3, now called Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm worried or disappointed that we're going to get more before July. Like, we're going to see more. They're going to release more.
Oh, I hope not. I'm done. I'm not going to look
But
at
I want
else.
just this.
I'm not looking at anything else.
This would be enough for me. Until the movie.
Okay.
Obviously.
What's your book of the week?
My book of the week. It's a great question, and I'm glad you remembered it. It's a tough one because there are a couple of really great books. I mean, Ultimate Black Panther was awesome. Birds of Prey wrapped up. I really responded to one of these. I don't remember Thundercats was exciting. Was there another one that I really liked? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head if like I was like, oh man, this one's right. I think I gotta give it to
Batman. You love Batman?
Yeah, no, especially. No, I think I gotta give it to Birds of Prey. I think Birds of Prey really, it was a really fun series, a really good book, and I hope people read more of it. But
excellent.
Yeah, Birds of Prey is my book of the week. What about you?
I really just shout out. I do love Darkest Dungeons, absolutely. But I think my book of the week is going to be X-Men 31. Just because it was really heart wrenching.
That's fair.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Let's recommend some books that are coming out. Well, actually, before we do that, we should actually cover our super chats. Charzy, we definitely need a McKay Moon Knight Marvel DC crossover with whoever.
Yeah.
And JMD is hopefully doing a Doctor Strange crossover. Oh,
yep.
DeMatteis doing a Doctor Strange crossover.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be great.
Nikki T, my theory on Deadpool and Wolverine is that the TVA is playing him to get him to clean up the branches, like the Foxverse, and Wolverine's trying to stop him and then team up. Yeah.
That works, right?
And that seems to be what the premise is pitching. King Coheed, the TVA are making an Exiles team with Deadpool. I hope not. I don't want him to make a team. We did the team last time and it was done. You know what I mean? So let's
Oh, sorry, not Darkest Dungeon. I did it again. Dark Spaces Dungeon. Because Darkest Dungeon is a game.
That's true.
And I have played it.
Have you?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's fine.
All right.
A lot of people like it. I just haven't returned to it. But yeah, sorry. It's Dark Spaces Dungeon number 3, which was great. But my book of the week is still X-Men 31. But still that. By the way, Doctor Strange crossover with the DC character. Obviously, most people are thinking Dr. Fate.
Yep.
Fine. Zatanna, great choice. I say Detective Chimp.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Right? You keep it small. They're solving a crime instead.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And like Strange is like, this is not the weirdest partner I've ever had.
Right, exactly.
And then Detective Chimp's like, I am so tired of some of you magic folks.
Right, exactly.
Like I want that.
Yeah, actually that'd be really cool. Let me go further with that.
Oh, you're going further. All right, here we go.
Because it means that like
ready.
Detective Chimp could take Strange to the Oblivion Bar.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of Strange being at the Oblivion Bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being like, oh, like getting the sword, like
yeah.
But without it being like a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like he goes to the Oblivion Bar, and for him, it's like,
yeah. No, I know
Tuesday.
Other people saying Constantine. I get it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Listen,
I would love to see that.
Dr. Fate, Zatanna, Constantine. Those like top 3, obviously.
Well, they'd all be in it too.
Like those are like the you don't have to. You just do those, right?
Right.
But I think Detective Chimp. I think there's something there.
That'd be really fun.
It's not the seller. People aren't going to buy that.
That is the one written by Simon Spurrier.
That'd be so good.
It'd be awesome. But as far as comics come out, and Girkbeck just says, hope Deadpool off Fox, Elektra, and Fanforstic. I hate him. Well, the movies didn't do very well, so they're already off the table. As far as books come out that we think you should check out,
there are books and they're coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Batman 143. I hope it helps to fix things or at least explain them better to me. Action Comics 1062 is written by Jason Aaron. I'm gonna read that. Transformers number 5 is coming out. It's a fabulous series. Batman and Robin number 6 is also being a thing. Green Lantern number 8 I'm gonna read because I read all of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to check that out. I read Superior Spider-Man 1 through 3, so I guess I'll read number 4 and see where it goes.
Why not?
And I think that's pretty much it.
Oh man, this is a good week for me.
It is,
folks. This is
big
a good
week
for me. Wolverine number 43 is coming out. Sabretooth War Part 3.
Yeah.
I think
or 4.
Yeah, whatever. You'll go get it if you want it.
Yeah.
Fall of the House of X number 2. Polaris coming in, bringing the Brood.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
talk about some big trouble in
the Brood in the Brood Easy, Brood Trouble in the Big Easy,
Brood Trouble in New York,
in Brood Trouble in Araco.
Avengers of the Moon Knight number 2. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I feel like we haven't had one of those in a while, and here it is. So you can go grab that on Wednesday. The Deviant number 4.
Yay.
James Tynan's creepy story. Love this book.
There is another book I forgot that we're both gonna have to read. But The Deviant. Keep going.
Oh, sure. Don't forget, I'm not reading this series, folks, but if you are a Wesley Dodds fan, the book's still coming out. Number 5 is coming out.
Yeah.
So, you can go grab that if you are so inclined to do so. Hunger and the Dust number 6. G. Willow Wilson from IDW. Love that book. It's so good. I just want to see who was writing this.
Yeah.
Because there's like a Scarlet Witch Quicksilver book.
Yes.
That's happening.
I don't know
Are
who's
you
writing it.
freaking kidding me?
Oh, that's right. We're getting the new Night Thrasher book. From Jason Holtham and Nelson Daniel. Well, I guess I'll give that a read.
Freaking Night Thrasher. No, I'm not reading Night Thrasher.
Somebody got mad about that.
Why? Because you don't like Night Thrasher?
No. Somebody, like a creator, got mad
that we don't...
at Night Thrasher because
okay.
it said like the 90s are back or something really like they took it really personally, and I was like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Did you have another book? I'm sorry. I'm still looking through.
Yeah, of course. Sinister Sons number 1 is dropping, ladies and gentlemen.
Kill Your Darlings.
Peter J. Tomasi is back with some Sinister Sons. You thought that they were going.
Wait, where is it?
It's down there. It's just further down. There it is, right there.
Oh.
Next to Speed Force number 4.
Oh.
Yes, and Kill Your Darlings number 6 is coming out.
Oh. Peter
Tomasi and David LaFuente, son of Sinestro and the son of Zod, teaming up and being sinister, looking grumpy. Grumpy sons.
I don't want
having the
that.
Grumps.
I just don't.
Frowny faces.
Frowny faces.
I'm gonna read the first issue, see how it goes.
I know you will. You can do that. That's all you, man.
They're let's see if I can remember the tagline. They're bad, sad, and mad at Dad.
Bad, mad, and angry at Dad. It's on the cover.
I didn't look at the cover. I wanted to remember it.
Oh. Why? Why do you want to? Don't commit that to memory. Don't do that.
It's the Tempest Fugonaut of taglines.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I'm sure there's other things I might look at, but
To quote Rogue from the pilot episode of Night of the Sentinels, ain't that enough? If you pick more books, I'd be more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
It's fair. You don't want to feel like that.
No, you don't.
That's how I feel on Sundays.
Man, I can't wait. This year we're getting a lot of X-Men. We're getting the X-Men 97 reboot, and we're getting the Deadpool Wolverine movie. All happening this year. So yeah, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to our super chatters for sponsoring today's show, and thank you to our chat for being respectful and cool as always. And we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out Tiffany on twitch.tv/ComicPop or youtube.com @ComicPop Plays to see her streaming multiple games. Maybe we'll get back to streaming eventually, like ourselves, like because we've been playing quite a bit of Lethal Company.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. And if you want to check out those streams, there's more.
Sal is hot.
No, I know they're being facetious, and I appreciate it anyway. I'll take it as a compliment, just like I did in high school. So, in addition to that, you can check out Tiffany on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Although this Wednesday probably not, because she'll have to pitch it.
Yes.
But yeah, and we got a special bonus, not bonus, but special guest host coming up in the next 2 weeks to cover a Star Wars book.
I bet you can piece it together.
I'm sure you could guess. It's not any. It's the guy who shows up on those shows once in a while. It's not Joshua Williams.
No.
Don't get too excited.
It's exciting.
No, it's exciting. He's great. And
good stuff.
Yeah. But we want to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week with another episode. Is there anything else? Any new business?
Nah.
All right. Then meeting adjourned.
Bruh.
It's not even cold.
Bruh.
Yo.
I do like bruh. I hate to say it. I really am enjoying saying it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.
Bye.